episode of Coder Conversations. This is Kevin, and we're here with TC. What's up, man?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Man, not too bad. We're just out here trying out this new streaming software. What
Yeah,
do you think about it so far?
it's cool. I like the layouts. I like the colors of like the banners and stuff. Like when we were playing around with it, the scrolling text and stuff. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it seems like the audio is really clear, and I don't hear all that stuttering.
Yeah, that's always nice.
So yeah, I definitely think it's been an upgrade, man. What's been going on with you and your job?
Um, well, today I finished the second interview with Lever, so that was cool. It was a little different, but I liked it. It wasn't like super focused on like data structures and algorithms.
Yeah,
Um, and I think that's where I think like that's when it comes to interviewing, you're gonna get a mixture of both, right? You're gonna
right.
get like some people who are data structures and algorithms, and other people who are just just be practical. Just give me like go over this code. How would you review it? How would you improve it? And explain to me how you would go about doing that. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it seems like a lot more real world-ish compared to some of
Mhm.
these other interviews.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's like, but I'm not gonna lie. I had to go through a lot of the other types of interviews to get to this one. So
Right.
you gotta have a little bit of both.
How long was the interview today?
About an hour. They split it up into two. So I have another one tomorrow at the same time, for about an hour. So I usually just take my lunch breaks and do it on there.
Right.
Um, and yeah, man, yeah, it's. I'm kind of glad that they didn't switch it all into like one day. Like that would suck.
Yeah. Right.
So I'm kind of glad that they split it up into two. So
Like,
yeah.
what's the impression you get about this company? Does it seem pretty cool?
Initially, they seemed pretty cool. Like the first guy I was talking to seemed pretty chill.
Mhm.
Um, and he's been there for like 3 years. And the other two people that I've seen were pretty chill. One of the guys was like shadowing this interview and like just seeing how they conduct interviews and stuff.
Right.
Um, but the other guy that I spoke with, he seemed pretty like cool, down to earth. Like they weren't like super techy. They seemed to be um, like they reminded me like they were really supportive. So
Okay.
it wasn't like I had to get the correct answer like straight from the jump. It was just like we were having a conversation, and
Okay.
yeah, like I might have an idea that might work, and then he's like, "Well, yeah, what about this though?" And so it was just a
Mhm.
conversation of just trying to understand like how do I take feedback? How do I handle feedback? How do you
Right.
show empathy during like okay, if something doesn't work or I might be wrong, like how do you take that type of feedback?
So
So
they seem pretty sociable overall.
yeah, yeah, definitely, it's definitely a big sociable feel. A humble so far, sociable. I'm just curious what the work life balance is like because
Yeah.
that's really important to me. Like,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's kind of cool that like in the interview process they integrated coding and behavior. Like
yeah,
how does he work with the team?
hmm
Etc. I mean, I think more interviews should be like that because that's pretty much what you're going to be actually doing on the job. You're not just going to be sitting there solving word problems, little
it's brain teasers.
algorithms.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's part of it, but not the whole thing.
Right.
I hear you.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I just ended up like buying a new laptop and camera for this, for the stream.
hmm
I think it's important to start investing in yourself. So,
Yeah,
I want to just take the quality up to the next level, man.
it's cool.
Um,
It's cool. Yeah, I'm thinking
how I
about
look.
getting.
What's that?
No, go ahead.
No, I'm saying how I look at it is, there's a little upfront cost, but it'll pay off in the future. Like I kind of went through the same process when it came to buying a bunch of courses and a bunch of books.
hmm
Like, yeah, I may have spent thousands of dollars on that, but I was able to make a lot of progress in the industry quick. So it more than paid for itself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
You said
it's
you was thinking about getting some new equipment.
I might get a new I don't need a new mic. I think I have a pretty good mic already, but like oh, the webcam. I might get a new webcam for Black Friday.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard you was looking at the new MacBooks, like not immediately, but you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. I'm not gonna lie. Like every time I go on LinkedIn or like Twitter, like people are talking about how fast they are, how like how uh how much like more productive like they are on him.
Mhm.
I have an old MacBook from like 2015 or whatever. It still runs, right? It still does its job, but you know, you I kind of dream of like, man, like how much faster would I be able to like work if I had a device that was just like just goes, you know?
Right. So you find your current MacBook is kind of slow, or
Um, Not really, because I don't use it. I don't use it for like phone applications and like developing like actual apps.
Mhm.
Um, but if I ever got into like actually developing like on iOS and Android, then I
Right.
would need a Mac, right? Because it does both. So
Okay.
that's my whole thought process. Like I might have to invest the change, but they're expensive, man. They're like $1,600
Oh yeah,
at the
yeah.
cheapest.
Macintoshes are definitely expensive. When I bought a MacBook, it was like 2,500, 2,600.
Jesus.
I mean, if I would say it's worth it if you really plan on developing with it,
Yeah, yeah.
like sometimes it's just worth it to reward yourself. So maybe if you get this new job.
Yeah, maybe we'll see. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm also curious. Like, maybe they'll provide me with equipment because, like, right
Oh
now I'm
yeah.
using on my own personal equipment. But uh, I know that like, in like higher technical roles, they provide you with equipment, right? Or they'll give you a stipend to buy equipment or whatever. But
Right.
like, you never mix like a you never use your personal computer to do work.
Yeah, yeah. They usually like a lot of these companies, they'll actually give you a laptop that they have.
Yeah,
I guess they got all the preloaded security software on there and all of that kind of stuff. So,
yeah. All the checks and balances. Yeah.
but
But
yeah,
how do
man.
you?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, how do you feel about this global chip shortage? Right, like nobody can get these chips, and I'm sure we talked about it before, but
Yeah.
like uh, it's affecting everybody: cars, games, laptops, phones. Like,
Yeah, it's kind of weird to me, man. Like, where's all the shortage of everything coming from? Like, it's not even just the chips. It's like everything. Like, they say, "Oh, buy your Christmas gifts now because you might not be able to find anything."
yeah, yeah. It's
But,
like,
with the global chip shortage, man, it's like if that's true, then why are they building these cars with more and more technology?
right, yeah. I feel like they made an investment though. It's like they made an investment they want to pay off, like for it to pay off.
Like, did nobody foresee this chip shortage? To me, it's kind of like a big thing. Like,
Yeah. Or
like no. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say like maybe they saw it coming, but
Mhm.
they just ignored it, right? They're like, whatever, just
Yeah.
build the car, build the gaming console, get it out there, right? If we're the first to market, then uh, you know, it's whatever, right? The fact that we're first to market and we sell, right? Because we made this investment, just push it out there. Like with Cyberpunk, right? Like Cyberpunk, like those devs must have known that the game was in a terrible state before claiming it's gonna go gold, right? And then it's not so much the developers like say if a game goes gold or not. It's the investors that are pushing like, okay, we want this release window, we want holiday 2021, just push it out there. And I
Right.
think a lot of people, a lot of like products are like that, like, okay, this product isn't ready, whatever, just ship it, we've invested too much time and money to not actually see any profit from it.
Right. We'll just patch it later.
Yeah. Yep. And but I don't know how you're gonna do that with a car though, right? Because
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, exactly.
technology is not ready. That's people's
Well, you know,
safety.
there's stuff and all this technology in the cars, but I don't really see like the huge benefit of it. Like, do I really want LCD screens everywhere? You know, like, do you like, you know, you're supposed to keep your eyes on the road. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I I'm still driving an '02 Honda Civic. Like I don't have any LCD panels. The only screen I have in my car is my phone, and like I've driven in like a Tesla before or ridden
yeah,
in a Tesla before, and I actually drove one, but and it's nice. Don't get me wrong. Like you don't really feel the road, and it's a nice experience, but I
it
can't see
doesn't really
myself
do
shelling out
anything.
that kind of money. Yeah, I can't see myself shelling out the money for it.
Like, you know, at the most, you can kind of change how the dashboard looks, but you know, who cares about that? Like, it doesn't
It's
do anything your current car doesn't. You not
right.
really.
Exactly.
You
Well,
know, that's
it's,
functional. You know.
it's electric. Yeah. But
Yeah,
besides it being electric, yeah, everything else is
exactly, man. I think that's just one of those things. Like, you just have extra money, you're just buying something cool just to buy it. You don't necessarily need it, but oh, it's the hot new thing. Like,
yeah, yeah. I can see that. I can see a lot of people just like going out and buying the hot new thing, like with the fear. They call it FOMO, like especially with like social media nowadays. Like, oh,
mm,
that's hot. I gotta get it.
right. The
Yeah.
fear of missing out, right?
Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, I'm missing out on. I gotta go see this new movie. It's hot. Like it's like when Squid Games was hot, right? Or I'm sure it's sure it still is, but like just for an example of like a TV show, right? Or like a popular TV show, like Squid Games. Like I couldn't go anywhere or talk to anybody without them saying, "Have you seen this show? Have you seen this show? Have you seen this show?" It's like, no, I
Mm,
haven't seen the show. Like, like okay, eventually
right.
I'll see it, but like, I'm not gonna be pressured like into seeing this show, right? So
Yeah, yeah,
it's like it's little things like that.
yeah, yeah. I haven't seen it either. I don't think I plan on watching it anytime soon. So,
My sister has seen it. She said it's good. But you know, I'll get around to it when I get around to it.
you're right. I haven't even watched the Game of Thrones. I read all the books, but I haven't watched the
Wow.
DVDs or whatever.
Oh, don't watch the last season. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I heard it was
Stay with
pretty
the
bad.
books. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. It's,
I don't know if they're ever gonna finish the books. Like the last one was supposed to be out like the past 5 years. You know, I don't
yeah,
know what he seems like he's just kind of coasting. Like I think he doesn't really know how he wants to end it. So
yeah.
it's like,
I'm gonna say this: don't rush it. Right? There's no need to rush an ending because, like, I'm sure there's like how do I say it? Any project that you're putting time into, don't rush the end result just to say that you're done. Right? Like, take
yeah,
your time and like really know like things that you're changing and what you're doing and why you're doing what you're doing. And I think that's with anything, right? Don't rush the end result. Just don't rush to say, okay, I'm done, I did it. Because if you rush, you're just gonna end up with a crappy job.
yep,
Like it's not gonna be satisfying. Like I'd rather take the time to work towards something, like put in the time and like when it launches, then bam, okay, cool. Like that felt good. I went through all the hoops and all of the stressful nights or whatever, and I got it done. So yeah, man, it's not worth it to just like rush a ending, especially if it's your baby, right? Like a book,
yeah,
that's yours.
yep, yeah. Hey, but you know, I also think like George R. Martin, like just because of the success of everything, he kind of has a lead as long as he wants.
Yeah,
Like you know, if it was us, they would have forced us to. No, you need to just finish this up.
yeah, just finish it up, like Hideo Kojima, with Metal Gear
Yeah,
Solid. It's like no, just finish it up, just push it out, it's done,
yeah, exactly.
whatever. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
man.
why a lot of artists are. That's why a lot of people these days, like they hide behind like VTuber stuff, and like
Mm,
they don't show their faces like online just because I feel like people do treat you differently when they see your face. Like
yeah, yeah,
like when they see you, like that's their first impression of you is how you look,
yep,
like before even hearing what you say. So like it used to be like, okay, like my grandma would always say, dress your best, like and take care of yourself, right? Groom and constantly dress to the nines and tens, because you never know who you're gonna meet. But nowadays, like with social media, I feel like it's your online profile that matters more. And two, some people don't want their who they are in real life. Like if they have clout and they have all these things going for them online, and they don't have to show their face, I think that opens up more avenues versus somebody seeing you like, oh, I'm not going to work with that person because they look like this, or they said this, or they did that, or whatever. You know what I mean?
yeah. I think a lot of people they don't want to really associate their opinions with their real life face because if somebody gets mad, oh, let me contact his job and get him fired or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then that's happened before, or let's look at his Twitter history.
Yeah. I've seen
Does
it.
he have a controversial post?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
people also show up at your house too if you're really big.
Yeah. 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 That has happened. Yeah.
So I don't blame them for not wanting to show their face. Like, have you seen how many successful like social media influencers do you know, or like YouTubers that they don't show their face? I think I know maybe a couple of them,
Um. Yeah. A
but their channel's
few.
more like video. Like they create like these long videos that are carefully edited, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. But they have a following. Like they have a niche and they have the following, and I think like that works for very specific people, right?
Yeah,
Like there's like Dream, right? I think Dream hasn't shown his face, but he's like a Minecraft YouTuber, and I'm sure he does other things, but I believe he's known for Minecraft YouTubing, and he's got a massive following right on YouTube, which I'm sure equates to large amounts of income, and like let me think of anybody else. And there's like VTubers and stuff, right? Those VTubers where they're called virtual YouTubers, and so like people will use like virtual avatars and sort of use what is it, the VR headsets, I believe, and they like
yeah,
a motion was it motion capture bodysuits, and like and this is just me guesstimating. I believe it has to do with like either like motion capture of some sort. I believe it's motion capture. That's all you really need, like, right? And then you tie that motion capture to like your avatar on your computer, and then you just use that to stream. So imagine like the whole metaverse stuff, right? But
yeah.
uh, with a different avatar, I guess you could say, right? Or just streaming on Twitch or YouTube.
Yeah,
Um,
I think if you're gonna do that, you have to either be like very charismatic or you have to be like really skilled at playing the game or something. Like,
yeah,
yeah, nobody just wants to see like some mediocre guy with a video game avatar. He's like, you know what I mean?
I mean, like
Or you gotta have something distinctive about you if you're gonna do that.
I've I've seen people that have a small following, right? That that sort of thrive in their own little bubble. Like I don't think you have to necessarily be like a beast at the game or whatever. But I think if you're like humble and down to earth and relatable, I think that's what I'm looking for is parasocial, right? Like people form parasocial relationships with people that they've never met before, uh, just because like we're social creatures, right? People, so we want to be social. Like, uh, and I think like when it comes to Twitch and YouTube, Twitch is more so. Um, you you find people that just like constantly that are in other people's streams just because they feel like they can relate or they like that person for one reason or the other. Like,
Right.
yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy with
Man, it's kind of hard to get traction on like YouTube and Instagram. Like it seems like the algorithm kind of favors the already established. That's what I found.
yeah. You have to. I think it's gonna be a while until we jump off. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Uh, I think that's just the way it is, right? Like, it's gonna take some time to get to a point where you just blow up, and whether it's this video or the next video or the next 10 videos, like it, we have to just find that spark, and then once that fire starts, you have to just ride it out. And I think that's what it's about, just finding that spark.
Yeah, I think like kind of like YouTube and Instagram, they have like it's almost like the gatekeeping thing is there, like how in Hollywood you have to know somebody to get on. They're kind of
Yeah,
pushed into that. Like, because with TikTok, I've created the Coder Conversations TikTok, and one
mm,
video already has almost like 1,000 views on it. So,
that's
it's
cool.
like there's something going on with YouTube and Instagram that it's hard to gain traction.
Yeah, I think I think it's like you have to build a following in one place, and then like that following spreads out to the other places. You know what I mean? I think it's like if you have a massive following on YouTube or on TikTok or whatever, and then
Yeah,
you also make a community on YouTube, the people from TikTok are gonna find you on YouTube, and or at least they might look you up on YouTube.
right.
The chance, like, you know what I mean, like the chance of somebody finding you or following you in one platform and then following you on a separate platform is higher, just because they already follow you on one. So it's like
Yeah, I think that's the strategy. Like, let's build up the TikTok and then funnel them over to, YouTube or whatever.
maybe, yeah, depending on how many Gen Zers want to learn how to code.
No, it seems like a lot, man, because I've seen some of these guys get like millions of views, and plus it's a hot career. It's everything software now, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's right.
And
Right.
you can make six figures. That's what these I think a lot of kids want to learn how to make games or learn how to get six figures. So I think if we market it right, you could absolutely blow the YouTube up as well.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Like, I've seen other tech YouTubers that are pretty successful now, but I feel like the when they try to do things that aren't tech related, then their community
Yeah.
sort of pushes back against it, and
Like who
it's
would you
like
say is an example of that?
um like what was it? There's a guy that I watch. His name is Nick White, and he made like he started off doing problems like on LeetCode and solving those problems,
Mhm.
and a lot of people were saying like, hey, like, can you go back to like solving LeetCode problems? Can you do more
Yeah.
algorithm videos, more data structure videos, blah blah blah? And he ended up like going the route of, okay, well, if I'm going to put the time into making this course, or if I'm going to put the time into making videos, I might as well just make a course and then
Right.
sell that course. So it's almost like if you start in one niche, you have
Yeah.
to stay in that niche. Like, don't move and do other things that aren't related to whatever they started following you for. Like,
Yeah. Kind of like
you'll
why I
get
like
that
that we
backlash.
broadened this before it caught on. You know what I mean? I don't want to only talk about coding interviews all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because it's the same thing. There's only
Yeah.
so much information that you could say,
Right.
right?
Right.
It just gets boring, or monotonous. I guess you could say. You just kind of sit and say the same thing over and over again.
I think it is. You probably feeling that, like, man, I'm tired of data structures and algorithms. A lot of these guys just end up quitting or something.
Yeah,
Like, man,
yeah.
this
They're
is,
like, I'm done. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, that's kind of a dry subject. You know what I mean? Like, when you first start teaching it, oh, okay, it's cool. It's cool seeing people get this information. But after like 3 years of doing it, it's like, like you said, literally it's the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
I think that's why it's kind of good to pick a broad subject like tech in general or even lifestyle. Like
Yeah.
who's that guy, Marquise Brownlee or whatever?
Yeah. Yeah.
He seems like he has a cool job. Like he gets to ride around in new Teslas and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah. But it all comes down to that following. That's the
Yeah,
whole reason that he gets all this new tech and stuff first. And then people
yeah.
want to hear what he has to say.
Like, what do you think it is about him that kind of like captivates people?
Uh, I would say I'm not sure. I don't really watch his videos like that. I've only seen his face, and I've only
Yeah,
I think I've watched one video from him. Um, but he doesn't seem like uh, what's the word, like a shill. Like, oh, somebody's
yeah.
paying me to promote this product. I'm gonna talk, talk graces about it.
Right,
Oh
right,
yeah, it's great. It's awesome. You got to go get it. Use my discount code, right? Like, I'm not sure if he's ever like said that a product is bad, but I can see him not being biased towards a company, and I could be wrong, right? But
right.
that's my whole idea. Like, he seems like he's an honest guy.
Yeah, it kind of seems like a genuine everyday guy. Like I think
Yeah,
people are kind of tired of the scripted stuff. Like like
yeah,
people that seem like like it's like they're watching a TV show. Every segment is pre-planned. They kind of like relatable, down to earth. That's like kind of like why YouTube took over from TV, I think.
right. Because it's TV. There wasn't anything. Well, let me say this: the reason I stopped watching TV and stopped watching more YouTube is just because, uh, like TV, it's there's a segment, right? It's like, okay, out of 8 hours of a day, like I'm only gonna watch 30 minutes of that day on a specific day just to watch a show that I want to catch up on, right? Like
Mhm.
if a new episode of Family Guy came out, I knew, okay, Saturday 8 p.m. Fox, I'm gonna watch it, and then that's it. Like there was no other reason for me to watch TV,
Right,
right? Like when streaming on demand, right? If I want to see a movie, okay, open up Hulu or Netflix or whatever, and just watch it from there. Versus, oh, let me flip through the cable TV, see what's on, and then hope that I catch the movie at the beginning and not somewhere in the middle or whatever.
right,
Like on demand media is just way better. It's more convenient. You watch what you want to watch, and you don't have to deal with all the BS.
right. So man, kind of getting back on that topic of inflation, man. I've heard it was like around 6% this year, or over 6%.
Uh, I heard something similar, but I don't really follow when it comes to inflation. Like I understand that year over year prices go up, and then sort of you get a raise, and that's supposed to match inflation. Does that make sense? Is that true?
I mean, it should match inflation, but most companies, a lot of companies, they may not necessarily give you that raise. So if they
Yeah,
don't, you literally just got poorer. And
man.
6%, this is like they say it's a 31-year high.
Wow.
So, man, it's kind of crazy, man. It almost like forces you to like if your company doesn't give you a raise, you got to almost force yourself to find another job.
Yeah. It's like you might as well just go out and, like you said, just find another job. But it's never that easy. I feel like it's not. Um, I feel like it's just not that. Like it's almost like you have to think 3 steps ahead. You know what I mean? Like if you're
Yeah,
looking at, okay, inflation might go up in 2 years or 3 years. Am I going to be comfortable in with inflation of 12% in 2 years from now at my current salary? Like, but then who's thinking like that?
I mean, you got to think like that unless you want to go broke, man. Like think about I was looking at houses, man, on Zillow, and this house that was like 500 and some thousand, all of a sudden it's like almost 800,000. So it jumped 300,000 in under a year.
Wow, that's
So it's
ridiculous.
kind of like that's kind of like why I'm trying to get more into entrepreneurial things, man. Our salaries can't just cover
You can't
that.
coast. Yeah, I hear you. You can't coast on that. Yeah, you have to have some type of side hustle.
Exactly, man. It's like you almost have to be a business owner if you just want to own a house now, like
Yeah,
or just make some obscene salary like 250,000 a year or something.
yeah, man. Yeah, you have to just have this crazy amount of income, just sparingly, almost, just to make anything happen.
Like I think like I don't know, the economy is just weird to me right now. Like, supposedly all these people are out of jobs, all these companies are hiring or whatever.
Hmm.
So how do all these people have all this money to have a $100,000, $200,000 down payment on a house? Like I don't get that. Like, where's that money coming from?
Yeah, either they got a savings or they know people who know people.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Like I know you're out in LA. I know the
It's
housing.
expensive out here. Yeah, man. It's expensive out here. Bless you.
I think.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, man, like how do you plan on affording a house out there, or you just plan on moving?
Um, I might move. Like looking at the. You're all right.
It might be. Yeah, I don't know what happened, man.
Allergies.
Yeah, it might be, man. I think it's starting to get a little chilly out now.
Yeah, it's heading into December.
Yeah, but yeah,
Let
man.
me see.
Like yeah. You plan on like potentially moving?
I might. I'm not gonna lie. Like once I actually start looking at houses and stuff, and look at
Yeah.
where I am career wise, it might be a smart thing to move. Just
Like
because
are there any like smaller cities like around LA where the housing prices are more decent?
maybe the Valley.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe like San Fernando Valley, but I'm not sure. Um, I always hear like price houses are cheaper out there, but who
Mhm.
knows now?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Like are there a lot of like big city amenities that you actually use, or is it just kind of like, oh, it's cool, I live in the city?
Um, Honestly, no, not really. Like,
Mm,
the only thing, I mean, these days, like, yeah, like movie theaters, but like way back when, movie theaters were a big thing for me. Uh, we have like this place called the Forum. They do a lot of concerts and stuff, and then we have like our little NFL stadium that we're building out. But um, besides that, like, I don't miss it too much. Like, LA is just LA to me.
right. That's kind of like what trips me out. Like sometimes you go on these message boards and people start arguing about should I move to this city, and people
Hmm.
start listing stuff that nobody uses. Like, oh, this has like 50 art museums, and
Yeah.
like, okay, like you need 20 operas. You're not going to that, so.
Right, exactly. No one's like you're not going. Well, why bother? You know?
Yeah. Like I think at the end of the day, it's pretty much comes down to like, do we have like good restaurants? That's pretty much what I go to, like places to eat,
Hmm.
maybe sports every now and then. But yeah, I find like most of those big city amenities, they're just cool on paper.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people they want that lifestyle. They want a lifestyle that they see on Instagram and on YouTube.
Mm,
So they think, okay, where should I move for the hottest
yeah,
nightlife? Where should I move for just stuff that's gonna come every once in a while, but it's not like an
yeah,
everyday thing. Like I can't imagine partying every single day. Like
right.
you gotta be tired after a while. You like you gotta have some time to recharge.
Yeah, a lot of people it seem like they just want to pay for the view or something. Like they're just outside of their apartment with the phone like this. They got some like nice mountains in the background. Like
Yeah. Yeah,
Like, come
exactly.
on,
They're
like,
just like,
because like
yeah.
even where I live, like I'm in Frisco, which is kind of close to Dallas.
Hmm.
I don't really go to a lot of that stuff. It looks cool in my mind, like, oh, there's a 3-story mall or whatever. Or,
Hmm.
they got a skating rink in the mall. Like, am I ever gonna use that? Probably not.
Yeah, it's like, I'm probably not going to use that.
Like I've heard a strategy. A lot of people in the Bay, they it's nothing I'm gonna do, but like they get like an RV or something, and then buy a membership to a gym and live in the RV or van or whatever, and
Mm.
just like kind of like save their money for a few years and buy a house outright, like in say like Colorado or Texas or something.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a valid strategy if you could swing it, but
yeah,
I think I'm a
exactly.
little
It's
too old for that.
like, yeah, that's the tough part. It's like, how do you, uh, like, for me, what sucks is that like all my family is in most of my family is in Cali, LA,
Yeah,
right? So it's like, okay, if I moved, I would be like the pioneer, like going out into a whole new area, and I'd essentially be alone.
right,
And
yeah,
like being homesick, like that sucks. Like even when
yeah,
I took my trip to Honduras, like after a certain point, I was like, okay, I miss the city. I miss the
yeah.
noise. I miss the city. I miss family.
Now, what was Honduras actually like?
It's different. It's really different. Like the the depending on where you are, it's certain parts of Honduras feel like an actual like city. They feel like LA. It feels like
Yeah,
busy and they've got like KFC and they've got like Dunkin' Donut. They've got all that stuff out there, but
right.
like it's almost like once you leave the city and you get where people actually live,
Yeah, way
some of it
different.
is like it's poverty, right? There's a lot of poverty
Yeah,
out there. Um, they have in a lot of and before you enter a lot of stores, they check your temperature because of COVID right now,
yeah,
and and also they have like a lot of security, but the security is not like out here, right? Like security, you think okay, a guy is just standing there at the door or whatever, but
yeah. They're
these
armed
security
out there, I
guards,
think.
yeah, they're armed, yeah, like gas stations, they're armed. Any store that you can walk into, like a grocery store or like a Walmart or something, they're armed.
Mm,
Costco, they're armed, and then it's not like just one person. It's like just like imagine just the police are just everywhere, and they're
right.
just like they don't even like cross paths or like cross eyes with this person because they'll suspect you of whatever.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
it's almost like just like play it cool and act normal, but like all the time. And
yeah.
but I mean, besides that, like it's beautiful. The country's beautiful.
Mm,
It's like nature, like just nature as far as the eyes can see. And it's just a shame that it's the poverty levels are just so mixed over there.
right.
Like, uh, uh, yeah, yeah, man. It's just a mixture. But the nature, the water, the beaches, yeah, all that's nice. All of it. Like, would I go back? Sure. Yeah. 'Cause now, like, now that I know what to expect, I would go back.
Like, you think you could buy yourself a house out there? Like, oh, this is my second house. Maybe I
Um,
live there 3 months out of the year or something.
yeah, maybe on one of the islands. Like, there's an island that I went to called Utila, which is about 2 hour, like a 2 hour ferry ride um, from from this from the city. And so, where was it? Yeah, like out there, again, like the beaches are nice, the water is nice, the
Mm,
community is nice. Like there's a lot of people that look like us, like out there, and they're fluent in Spanish and just talking up a storm. And they just they I don't know. and then it's a mixed bag. It's a mixed bag of people. It's a mixed
Mm.
bag of people and just things out there that are like out there to see. Um, yeah, man, it was nice. It was a lot of driving though for me. It was a
Okay.
lot of driving,
Yeah.
like going from like point to point.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of too much driving.
yeah,
I would love to get a house out here, man, but I might just have to utilize that smaller city strategy, get a house in a smaller city, work remote, get it paid off, and then I don't know, maybe try to find a spot out here because it used to be affordable out here, man. But once they started hyping up the DFW area, everybody's coming out here, and price has
yeah.
been skyrocketing.
Prices go up. Yeah. Do you ever see yourself moving out of DF?
Maybe to like Austin or something, but
Yeah.
that's where. But I think it's even more expensive in Austin. That's where all the Californian transplants are kind of moving, like Elon Musk and all of them. So you already know how
California
to,
transplants.
like a
Yeah.
lot of like Joe Rogan.
Uh-huh.
He's out there in Austin. Elon Musk. I think a lot of Hollywood is actually moving out there. Well, I want to say a lot, but that's kind of like where they're migrating to Austin.
Mhm.
So, if you want to be reminded at home, maybe that's the place to go.
Yeah, maybe I should go.
You should
Yeah,
visit, man. You might like it out there.
I might. I might. Well, we'll see. Yeah, my girl wants me to. She was mentioning Texas. She's like, "Yeah, it's a hot tech hub. You should go out there." And she's always like, "Canada's a good place for tech," and she's like giving me little ideas of like where we could potentially move and stuff. I'm like, "All right, well, we'll see.
Man, I
See what's
love
up."
DFW though, man. I would prefer to stay out here. They just like they build like a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah.
Like, let me see if I could find it. Have you ever heard of like Texas Live? This
I haven't.
it's out there in Arlington. It's like this sports bar. It has like these huge screens, like it look like 100 foot tall. Let me see if I can find a picture.
Oh,
But yeah, it's still somewhat reasonably priced out here, but they just got like a
mhm.
lot of cool stuff. Let me bring this up on screen real quick. Well, yeah, what do you really like about LA?
Um, it's just I'm comfortable. I guess that's
Right.
probably the best thing. The best answer to that question right now is like I just know it. I know LA
Okay.
to the point where like okay, I can go here and I know where the what downtown provides. Like if I was to go downtown and go see a movie, or if I was to go to Tokyo and like go get ramen and go get like pick up some anime, or um, if I was to go to, let's say, uh, if I want to go to a mall, like I know I'm saying like little things that every place has,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
uh, it's more so just like I'm like this is home to me. Like
Right, right.
I'm born and raised, and like just sort of transplanting myself. I feel out of place almost, like
Yeah.
not so much a fish out of water, but it's totally new for me. And I think maybe it'll probably be best for me to like go to Austin or go to DF and just like stay there for a extended period of time. Not like a week or two, but like
Yeah, yeah.
6 months to a year to sort of break that feeling of like,
Right.
oh man, LA is home.
Yeah, yeah. So this is kind of like what I was talking about. Like, so you see, like you said, they got like all these little tables here, like this
That's cool.
massive screen,
Yeah.
and it's like multiple stories. Like, they
Mhm.
got like little clubs up top. So this is really big, like on game day. Like, say like
Yeah.
the Cowboys are playing. But yeah, man,
That's
I would
cool.
say, maybe take like a couple of weeks and do a little trip. Like, okay, I'm stay in Austin for a week, then I'm gonna stay, check DFW out. or Houston, and see if you could catch the vibe of it. You know what I mean? I think that's the big thing, really. So
Yeah,
it's kind of like, do you feel like you belong here or not?
I think we got a bot spamming our chat.
Where do you see that at?
If you look at the top right, it says stream.
Oh
It
wow!
says, yeah, I think we got a bot spamming our chat.
Yeah, I wonder how they even got in there.
I don't know.
I wonder how you block them, but well, it's not showing on the stream anyway, so.
Right.
Well, at least we got one live viewer.
Even if it's a robot,
Right.
we're doing something right.
But yeah, man, I was the stuff with like all the vaccine mandates and all that in LA. I heard like you can't even go into stores without showing your card or whatever.
Really? No, I haven't run into that yet. Or I know the restaurants are doing that, right? You got to show your vaccination. But I don't go to restaurants. Like I haven't gone. Like I went to a bar once. But yeah, man, like here it is. Report. Hold on, I'm banning this guy.
Okay, yeah, it seems like you have the admin privileges.
I had to log into the YouTube account and actually remove them.
Okay, that makes sense. I didn't even know we could like do the chat thing right now because I thought you always had to be like at a certain level to get the chat going. I guess that's super chat.
That must be super chats. Yeah. All right. Sorry, I had to get rid of them. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, the vaccine and stuff. Right? Yeah, man. Like when they first announced it, I was like, you know what? Let me just not. I'm not gonna mess around with restaurants and stuff. And
Right.
for a long time, I was just like, nope, I'm staying in the house. I'll go buy groceries and come home and live my little cave. And now I'm a little like I'm better now. Like I got vaccinated or whatever, and now I'm like, okay, you want to see a card? Okay, sure. Like I just my whole thing is like I'd rather like not have the frustration of dealing with the whole like, oh, you're not this and you're not that and blah blah blah, then just be like, okay, let me just go in the store and get what I want and keep it pushing. So that's my whole deal.
Do they is like everybody still walking around masked out there or?
Yeah, for the most part, people in stores mostly masked up. People in malls and stuff are mostly masked up. Like airports mostly. Yeah, like a lot of major places that I've been to, people are still like masked up. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's like wide open out here, man.
Wow.
You don't have to get vaccinated, and a lot of people, some people wear masks, some don't. But
yeah, that's all down to personal choice. Like I believe that at the end of the day, it's like that's what you want to do,
right.
Like, but realize that plenty of people have taken that gamble, and when you take that gamble,
yes, it's your choice.
It is your choice. Yeah.
Like I'm not vaccinated, but
right.
I stay out of big, I don't like constantly be around a bunch of people working from home.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. It's like you don't see yourself like going to a concert and then coming home and like, all right, I'm all right. Yeah.
Right. Like why you know what I'm saying? Like why would you go to a big concert like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you remember the Travis Scott thing? That's kind of crazy.
Exactly what I was referring to. Yeah, exactly. It's like you already have like poor security and poor like everything else set up. But then you almost incite people to want to rush the stage um, and sort of sneak in, right? And you get to a point where you're overpacked, and then
Yeah.
people are having fun, and then they're not having fun. Yeah, it's crazy. I've been hearing about that, like about his apology video and about that whole story for the past couple of days.
Man, it's kind of like a weird story. Like, they kind of blamed it on the stampede, but then they say there was somebody there injecting people with needles.
Yeah,
Like,
it was too much going on. It was so much going
yeah,
on, I should say. It's like it's
like there's
just
no clear story. It kind of makes me want to stay away from that kind of stuff.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Like there's no clear story. There's no the people are just going to be looking for answers this whole time, like
Right.
all the time. And I think that's the thing. It's like no one knows the truth, but the people that were there. So if enough evidence comes to light, right, from the Patreons that came that actually like went there, then he could be in a lot of trouble. Like
Yo, can you
Travis
give me
Scott.
1 second? This is Brian. Let me see if I can pull him in.
All right.
You want to jump in?
All right.
Yeah. Let me send you the link real quick. If you want to jump in.
All right, that's cool.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna send it to you right now. Let's see. Yeah, man. We was just kind of talking about the whole the Travis Scott thing.
I don't know nothing about it.
Oh, you haven't heard nothing about it?
Man.
I know his name been in the news, and my son was saying something about he had an apology or something, but I don't know what happened.
Yeah. That's kind of like what we're talking about. It's not like really clear on what happened exactly.
I don't know how much I might be able to add to the combo, but shit, I'll jump on if y'all want to.
Yeah. Let me try to get you that link real quick.
Shit, I hope this headset works.
Let's see. Yeah, Terrence, you been to any concerts lately? Not too much.
Nah, nope. And I don't think I'm gonna go see any anytime soon, just because it's too much. That's crazy, right? Like there's no point. I mean, to me, it's like why? Like
Right.
I get it, right? Like some people, what was it? In the case with like Travis Scott, right? Like that's an anomaly, right? But like, there's definitely been concerts in the past that have just gone and just like off the rails. But then there's other concerts, right, where like the artist uh, will like they'll. It's almost like they look out for their people, right? Like
Right.
after the whole Travis Scott event, right? A lot of people on Reddit and other social media were like posting examples of like, hey, if something happens at a concert, here's what Linkin Park did, here's what Beyonce did, here's what Jay-Z did, or not Jay-Z,
Right.
but like there's all these like big name people that like if something happens at a concert, they make sure that whoever like they can see everything. Like they're on a stage, they can see everything, and
Right.
they just make sure that the people that are there are having a good time and they're not getting hurt. And I think, at least from what I've seen with Travis Scott, it's the polar opposite. Like he incites anarchy and he incites violence at the shows, and like people that want to be at the front, and I don't understand why the front row seats are so expensive, but like people who want to be at the very front, like they have to realize that they're taking on a risk. Like there's a sea of people behind them that can like
Mm.
push to try and go forward. And so what's happened, or what has happened from what I've heard, is like there's so many people there that there's no room to move. You're just
Yeah, you
shoulder
packed
to
together.
shoulder against somebody, and there's people mosh pitting and just trying to being hype and stuff, and like it's only hype for so many people that are there, and the other people that are there just going through it. So
Yeah, yeah, man. That's nothing I really want to. It's just too many people together, like
yeah,
smushed together.
yeah,
Like I hate that feeling of being packed together with people. Like even going to Costco, it's hard for me to stay in there for long because it's just like
yeah. It's tough.
swarms
It's a
of
battle.
people.
Yeah. Like my mom calls it a battle. Like you got to go in there. You got to know what you're gonna get. You
Yeah,
can't wander around because like it's so many different people. And then even if you do like wander around, the line usually like it's just hella long. So it's like again, get in and get out.
yeah. The good thing about working remotely is you could. I try to go at like like maybe lunchtime or something, so nobody's really in there. Like on the
Yeah,
weekday,
yeah. For me,
I look at it.
like I'm still doing the Amazon Fresh thing where like
Yeah.
I go on Amazon and I'm like, all right, I want this, this, and this, and this, and then I pick a time and they just drop it off. Um, but I need to start going to Costco though.
What are those delivery fees looking like on Fresh? I remember they.
Um, it's not bad. Like was it over like $35? I get like free delivery, which is cool.
Oh, okay,
So
yeah,
like whatever difference I was gonna pay, I was just like toss in like as a tip for my driver and stuff.
right,
Because they drop it off at your door, so it's not like I have to go downstairs or anything. It's really just
yeah,
like
super convenient.
it's super convenient. Yeah, yeah. Only issue is like some people they don't know how to get into the building, so that's the only problem.
Oh, okay,
Hey, Kev, it said that you reached the host, the participant limit or something like that.
okay. Let me see.
Oh,
Okay, yeah. With this one, you can only invite one person at a time. To use, I guess you use the paid thing. But can you hear Terrence through the phone?
Yeah, I can hear.
Okay, yeah. I guess we'll just have to do this until I'll probably end up getting the paid version after this.
Okay.
But yo, what's been going on with you, man?
Man, just trying to advance, man. Trying to get beyond just where I'm at, man.
Oh yeah, man. You been getting into the looking into like the trucking industry, haven't you?
Yeah, man. Trying to looking at that, looking into crypto, I'm looking into all kinds of streams of income, man.
Yeah. What's been looking promising to you?
Man, the trucking industry is definitely a lot more challenging than I thought. Obviously with enough money, ain't nothing challenging, but
Yeah.
it ain't like I got unlimited resources. So I'm trying to put my bread in places where it makes the most sense to get the maximum return without risking too much at once, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. It definitely makes sense.
Yeah, I used to, be really heavy in the stock market, man, but I just don't. I feel like the stock market is when you got millions. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the only way you can really get passive income. You know what I'm saying, in the stock
Yeah.
market. Until you got, at least half of it. You know what I'm saying? And you playing with tens of thousands. That just ain't gonna really get you too far too fast. So
Right.
I'm just trying to see how I can be more active. You know what I'm saying, with my resources to make my kind of put my money to work in a more active way.
Right. Man, what's kind of crazy is like, earning six figures ain't really like balling like it used to be. You know what I mean? It's like, you could get some decent things, but it's still like, oh man, there's a limit.
You're still middle class, man.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not getting, you know what I'm saying, really far ahead. And then that's not to say that it's bad. Like that's not necessarily
Right.
bad. It's just that's just what it is. That's the reality. Like 100K, 15, 20 years ago. I mean, ain't too much you couldn't ball out on. It's people barely scraping by with 100K today.
Yeah. That's kind of like I don't really like necessarily feel like that in my situation, but it's not like I'm not getting ahead like I thought I would. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Cause I look at it like this, literally, bro. Like we about to be in 2022,
Yeah.
bro. 2015, right? 2015. I bought a house for 120. I think it was like 122, something like that. 122.
122,000.
Yeah, 122,000. 2000, like it was like 20. I think it was like 2,200 square feet, 2,300 square feet.
Wow.
3-bedroom, had the formal, living and dining. I mean, it was a nice crib, bro. Ain't no way. You know what I'm saying? And I got that house on I don't even think I was at 6 figures yet when I got that. Yeah, I don't think I was. I don't believe I was at 6 figures yet.
Wow.
But that same house would be tough for somebody with 6 figures today.
Yeah.
To manage. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
not saying they couldn't be done, but yes, 6 figures just ain't the same no more, man.
Yeah. What you think about that, Terrence?
Well, I've never hit 6 figures. I'm still trying to grow up and get to y'all level. But yeah, man, like that just makes me reconsider, like, if I do get a new dev job and I still hit 6 figures, I'm not doing it big.
Yeah, don't go crazy, man.
Yeah, so hey, you're doing it bigger, but it's not as big as you want to get.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But this is the question though, Terrence. Like, what do you feel like, would be the level that you would need to be at to accomplish your goals? Because really, we say 6 figures ain't much, but it depends on what your goals are too, though.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Kevin and I talked about this briefly, and it's like, because I've been practicing and taking interviews, right, at other companies, right. I'm trying to break 6 figures, I feel like I'm close, but we were saying, like, what if I do get a new job? It's like, well, I'm not gonna go out and ball out on like buying a new car and fancy clothes and things like that, because like the only thing that's changed is just the amount of money that I make every 2 weeks, right? But if fingers crossed, hopefully I keep my bills the same and how much I eat the same and stuff like that, like then the rest of it can go into savings, right? Like ideally that's the idea, but who knows what'll happen when that actually happens.
Well, yeah, what's crazy is like me and Brian, we talk about it all the time. Like when we first came into the industry, we were making like 60K.
Yeah.
And even
hey, you got to take me back even further than that. When I first came into the industry, I was making 45.
Right.
Yeah.
But like when we worked together, we was like at that 60K level, man. We would have to go to like Buffalo Wild Wings and man, I don't want no soda today. I'm gonna just get the water, like.
Yeah. And you want a surprise? No, I just want the wings. No. You want 10? No. Give me the 8. Give me the 8. I just give me the 8. I don't want 10. I don't want none of that. Matter of fact, where y'all value menu?
You remember, like y'all would we would go in there and y'all would do something to get the free meal, like if they didn't make it come out in time.
Oh yeah. So this is a trip. All right, so they had this little special going on at Buffalo Wild Wings where if you order from this specific menu, it was like their lunch menu or something. If you order from that specific menu and you didn't get your food out in a certain amount of time, then you get it for free, right? And so there were the options on there were decent, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of times, like people at the table didn't necessarily want what was on there. But me and this other guy named Adam, we would always order from that menu. But the fact that we would go in there as a group, they wouldn't bring the food out until everybody's food was done together. So So it just basically ended up, we was always getting it for free because they couldn't get it out in the time frame for the whole table in the time frame that it would take to get ours done. So after doing that like 2 or 3 times, they ended up like discontinuing that option or whatever. But man, yeah, me and Adam, man, we was getting free food, man, a couple of times.
Game in the system.
Yeah, I can only imagine you living in LA. You know what I mean? It's like even more expensive out there. So like, do you have to cut corners? Like I'm gonna go to this restaurant, but I'm not gonna get the 10-piece or whatever.
You know, like thinking about it right now, that does explain like when I used to go to restaurants and stuff, like family, we would like split the bill. It was like whoever ate the most would pay the most or like whatever. So we would split it that way. But now there's definitely days where like you only get like a burger, you don't get fries, you don't get a soda. You kind of have to like scrape on by.
Yeah.
You know, because you got rent to pay at the end of the month, or you got bills to pay or whatever. Yeah, it's tough.
I think that's like the biggest upgrade. Once you hit the 6 figures, you can kind of get what you want at restaurants. That's like one of the big.
Yeah.
I'm balling. Man, give me a prize. Hell, I'm balling.
Yep.
You actually get the large fries now.
I'm not drinking no fucking water. Yeah. Bring me that Pepsi. Matter of fact, put some crown in that joint.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, big baller.
That's the biggest advantage for me. I just get what I want now.
You can actually tip your waiter now. You don't gotta skip out on a tip.
Yeah. You don't have to feel bad. You don't have to feel bad because you're trying to calculate, well, how much can I afford to tip?
Yeah.
Like my dollar days are gone. Upgrade. If you're gonna get more than $1 for me today. Yeah, man. It's funny though, because back in the day, man, I used to have a problem with tipping, man. I don't know why I was like that, but I don't know, man. I always felt, and it was before this was earlier. I was young.
Yeah.
I just felt like, wow. I mean, for you to get a tip from me, you would have had to be extraordinary. I'm talking about you would have had to be above and beyond. But it wasn't until after I learned, what they go through and how they really don't get, a regular salary and all of that, regular hourly wage, that I started respecting, that a little bit more. And I always tip them. But man, back in the day, man, it didn't really matter how much I was making. Like I just wouldn't tip unless it was. I felt like it was amazing.
Yeah.
But no. But the question is though, like off the now stuff. I feel like really what advancing your salary does is give you a sense of stability. It gives you a sense of, kind of like you feel comfortable. You know what I mean? Like, because in the beginning, like I remember back in the day, I mean, when I was scraping check to check, like that was a very uncomfortable position because like it really was. I'm not even a big spender type person. Like I don't just go buy out stuff, and I'm not like that type. But even with that being said, like being concerned about what you spend and when you spend it is just an uncomfortable position to be in. But it's so common. That's normal though. You know what I'm saying? Normal is living check to check.
Yeah.
But when you start making more, but you don't spend more, you get the luxury and the comfortability of being, a lot more freelance with your spending. So it's like, even if you don't like go buy another car or go get, upgrade your living circumstances and you don't increase your expenditures, just the freedom to be able, like Kevin was saying, just kind of do what you would naturally do and not have to penny pinch. It's just a good position to be in. So if anything else, just being able to be in that position is worth it.
So like, what's Terrence? Because I feel like he's on his way to getting that 100K. Like, I feel that's right around the corner, man. What would you tell him? Like, what were some of the mistakes you made once you got that 100K? Like, was you splurging a little bit?
I can't say that I was because I'm not. Terrence he in a much better spot than I am.
Okay.
I was.
Yeah.
Both of you, matter of fact.
Right.
Like I already had 3 kids and a wife and I already had a lot of responsibility. So
right.
I never. When I started making six figures, I was already tapped out. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah,
Hey, I needed to make six figures.
Right.
yeah, yeah.
I needed to make that. So it's like things got better, and I upgraded in life over time. But essentially, when I'm looking at it, like when it's kind of funny you asked that because when I'm looking back, like you remember the house that I was in, the big house that I was in.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I got that house before I started making six figures, right?
Right.
Crazy as that sounds, but that's where the market was back then in
Yeah.
2017. I got that house before I started making six figures, and right after we, matter of fact, I think it was right before we moved in actually into that house. I got the upgrade, and so it wasn't until after I had created the lifestyle that I actually ended up hitting six figures, and that was actually godsend, man, because I don't even know where I would be if I didn't actually hit that mark because
Right.
I was gonna be scraping by, bro. I'm talking
Yeah,
about
yeah. Man, you were stretching those 6 feet. You were stretching that. What was you making, like 85?
Man, I was stretching at 80K, man.
Man, because you had a big old truck too.
Yeah, yeah. I had the truck at that point, and everything considered, I was strongly dependent on my, what I'm saying, my significant other's income. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And once I hit that mark, pretty much what that allowed me to do was pretty much get solidified in my ability to hold it down by myself, basically. So no matter what happened on her end, I was good. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I was gonna be able to make it happen. And so it just kind of went up from there, man. And I didn't change my lifestyle much per se because I had already made the moves that I really wanted to make anyway.
Right.
So if I had to give any type of, advice, man, to be honest, man, if you're depending on how far off you are or how far off you feel like you are, but I think he's already, Terrence already got the right mindset. He already said, like, I'm not gonna go, start increasing my, my outcome because again, my income may have increased, but I still need to keep in context, what I'm saying, what my ultimate goal is. Like, I don't want to go and increase my spending just because I've increased my income.
Right.
And that's the biggest ticket. If you have that mindset, I feel like that's when you're gonna really win. But the only thing that I would kind of challenge though, Terrence, is the whole putting it in savings. Like, you need to put that money to work, man, as soon as possible.
No. Right. I hear you because there was one dude that I was watching, and he like when the pandemic and stuff like first started, and we just started working from home, like all that money that I wasn't spending on like gas and eating out and everything, I started putting towards like paying off like was it like a debt, right? And I actually got out of debt in 2020, right? So this dude that I watched, he said focus on paying off your debts, and then the get into the habit of saving. And so that's sort of where I got it from. Like, okay, so I don't have any more debt. I can save this money, but ideally, I know like the money is in investing, right? Whether you invest in crypto or you invest in real estate or something. But the whole point is like you got to have a side hustle.
Yeah, even if you just invest in it, like in the S&P 500, just like a standard like blanket EFT or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to be risky with it, But as early as possible, man, I would encourage everybody to not just sit. Like, it's okay to have a little bit of cushion in your bank account,
right?
But man, they raping you, man. They raping you.
Yeah. So yeah, we just talked about it earlier today, man. The inflation was for this year alone was like over 6%. So
yeah. So that little point, whatever that 0.0001% they give you, that the bank give you, yeah, the inflation eat that up 10 times.
Yeah.
I mean, so many times over, your money is actually devaluing itself.
Yeah.
In the bank.
Like if your company didn't give you a raise, man, it's pretty much like they gave you the opposite of a raise. Like,
it's costing you more and more money to not invest. Every year, like every year, it's just going up and up and up. Cost of living is going up, but the amount, how far your dollar goes, is lessened every year. And so when you're looking at that, if the value of your dollar is going down, but you're not making any more, you're in a losing battle.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, man. It's kind of like why at that one point we was like, man, you got to start interviewing, man, because we don't want you to.
I don't want to look up and like shit. I should have been
Yeah.
interviewing 2 years ago or whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm still going through it, but better late than never.
Because like when you're in a position of like you don't have a job or whatever, you're almost like desperate. These companies can lowball you when you have to start interviewing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's definitely and people get that messed up, because every opportunity that I've had to advance has always come. Well, maybe one time not, but most of the opportunities that I've advanced in has come from me already having a solid position and somebody else coming in offering me more.
Yeah.
And then either being able to accept that new opportunity or challenge the person that the company that you're already with to come up and meet you where they're at. You know what I mean? And so that's really the only way to advance, far. Like they might give you a little few pennies here and there, every once a year, if you're lucky enough to be at a company that'll do that.
Yeah.
But that little, 5%, whatever raise, if they give you that, it's crumbs compared to how much you can get. Like, for example, I got like a 50% raise at Consult More because I interviewed with another company that offered me, a 6 figures. And so when my company realized, hey, we're about to lose this guy, he's valuable to us. What can we do to keep you? Well, give me 6 figures.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, give me that. And I'll say, okay, well, this is what we can offer you. Well, since they less, all right, I'll stay. Okay, and so now instantly, and this is coming off of me just getting my 80K. You know what I'm saying? Me coming from 60 to 80.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally, I was at 80 for maybe a couple of months, and then I got bumped from it. Basically, if you really want to put it in perspective, I got 100% raise, like in a matter of months, just because I was interviewing.
Yeah. Got to be aggressive about that. Going after the salary, man.
Yeah. Now, a question I want to give to you, Brian, because you like I've already talked to Kevin about this, and I want to hear your perspective. So, this is my first gig, right? And I've been here for 2 going on 3 years, and I've had mixed feelings about like leaving, like jumping ship. A part of me feels like I'm like sort of abandoning the team because we have a small team.
Right.
Yeah, so like a part of me feels like, man, I'm abandoning my team or whatever. But like, because I'm not trying to make this story long. The long and short of it is like some of the devs that we have like know certain frameworks and some don't. And so if I was to leave, I would take a lot of knowledge with me, and I would feel like I would put the team in a bad position. Like I'd be better off, but I feel like they would be at a loss. So how the question is like how do you get past that feeling, I guess? Like how do you look at it like, okay, in 2 weeks do I try to come up with documentation to work on stuff and then bounce, or do I try to teach people to catch up, or do I just stay and forego the?
Yeah. So let me interject real quick.
Sure.
I've had the same conversation with Kevin, and this is what I've come to realize. I've seen it happen to other people. Me personally, I've always been in a position, to where I'm valued high enough to where I don't really worry about that. But I definitely understand how you can kind of start growing into like a relationship with your company, right? Like the people that you work with, you know, you like them, you know, y'all cool, and you feel obligated because when you're working somewhere, you feel a part of, like you said, a team. But the thing that you have to understand is that at the end of the day, it's all about the money. You know what I'm saying? So that company that you feel loyal to, you got to also ask yourself the same question of, if it came down to it, and the bottom line said that we can't afford to pay Terrence anymore, what are they gonna do?
They cut me off.
They're gonna cut you off, not because they don't like you. It's not personal. It's business. And so what we have to do is we have to understand our place in companies. See, our place in a company is not to be cool and friendly. Our place in a company is to make money. And at the point that we feel like, oh, well, if I leave, then it's going to put them in a bad position. Unless the company, before you got there, they were okay. So when you leave, guess what? They're going to be okay.
Yeah.
Yes, it would put them in a bind potentially, but they're going to go out there and find somebody else.
Yeah.
They're not going to be you, but at some point, when you first got there, you weren't you, right?
Right. Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I say that to say this: loyalty is only thrown as far as the money can go. So I'm not necessarily loyal to the company. I'm loyal to the value that I provide to the company, because that's all that I am to them. All I am to them is a dollar sign.
Yeah.
And so if somebody else is willing to give me more value for my money, then guess what? My loyalty shifts the dollar. What you can do is what I've done twice in my career is challenge your company. So you interview with other companies, right? And if I'm that valuable to you, if you're loyal to me as a worker, you'll show me that by giving me the money that somebody else is willing to give me who don't even know me. Like somebody who doesn't even have a relationship with me is willing to pay me this. But the people that I've, put in time and effort and blood, sweat, and tears into their company, they're not willing to pay me this.
Right.
So where?
Yeah. Like, man, they're gonna forever keep you at that position too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, all these guys are forever gonna be dependent on you. So when can you leave? You're just gonna stay complacent forever. You know what I mean? And think about this, man. If they, if you couldn't pay rent, is all of those homeboys at work? Are they gonna be like, man, let's let Terrence move in. Let's help him pay rent. Time to get away from him.
Yeah.
He ain't, I understand where you're coming from. It's like you don't want to just abandon and screw them over or whatever, but like,
but you gotta remember, Terrence, that the way you get over that is understanding how they look at you. You look at them, you look at your people and your team as comrades, and like, okay, we're in the trenches together, we work together, we got a common goal, and so you build that relationship with people. But at the end of the day, the people are only a part of the company, and the company is made up of the people. So when you're looking at a standpoint of how you fit into that whole scenario,
right?
I'm just gonna be honest with you, man. You're just a dollar sign.
Yeah. Right. They call you. What do they call you? Resource.
How much does it cost me to have this particular person, regardless of who it is? It could be you. It could be somebody else. Just as easy as it was you, it could have been somebody else in your same position. They're not connected with you as a person. They're connected with you as a resource.
Yeah.
And so when your opportunities arise, you have to look at that as the same way. I'm just a resource here. And no different than I became a resource here, somebody else will fulfill my role if I leave. But like I said, that you interviewing is really doing you a solid, because if somebody else gives you an opportunity, you take that same opportunity to your employer and you say, hey, look, I just wanted to let y'all know, I got an opportunity over here for this particular amount. And you don't even have to challenge them, because if you're valuable to them, they're going to let you know. They're going to say, well, hey, man, we hate to see you leave. Is there anything we can do to keep you?
Right.
This is how you find out how valuable you really are to your company and how much loyalty you should technically, quote unquote, have toward them.
Yeah.
Challenge them. Hey, hey, these guys over here are willing to pay $100K.
Yeah.
you know, I hate to leave y'all, man. You know, y'all been good to me. Blah blah blah. You know, I love y'all guys. You know, we have blah 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 blah. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't say, man, you know what can we do to keep you? Man, you already know you made the right decision.
Yeah. Like, man, like, you know, I'm appreciative to my first company for bringing me on, like giving me my first coding job. But like after a year, they just let me go. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like if the reason come up, they'll let you go. Like when you first joined that company, did they say, oh, well, no, let's pay you 70K. Let's pay you more than what you asked for. No, they negotiated you down.
Yeah, no, it was
So-
very, yeah, they were very much like penny pinching, but I didn't have any, for lack of better words, I didn't have any clout. I didn't have anything that was backing up what I was asking for, so they could lowball me.
You see how it's like a business negotiation because you're in a position of desperation. You don't have any experience. Well, we're going to negotiate. We're going to use that to negotiate you down.
Right.
Like it's dollars and cents to them. So
Yeah.
And that goes right back to my scenario where how can a company give me a raise, right? Now I'm thinking they're doing me a solid, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm making 60. I'm over here sweating bullets, thinking, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm gonna go in there and ask for 70.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? maybe they'll give me 70, right? I get in there, they give me 80. I'm like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? I hit the jackpot. Hell yeah! I'm thinking I'm gonna get set. I'm gonna beg for 70. They gave me 80.
Yeah.
I'm winning. And then turn around a couple of months later and give me 120.
Right. Man,
so why couldn't you give me 120 when you gave me 80?
Yeah.
Because they don't have to.
Right.
Yeah.
They don't care. They don't care about my family. They don't care about me paying bills at my house. They don't care about none of that.
Yeah.
And it ain't that we don't have a good camaraderie. You know, hey, what's going on, guys? We can go out to eat and all of that. But at the end of the day, they don't care. They don't care about me. They care about the resource. Because if they did, they would have gave me 120 when they realized I was worth it.
Right.
But I was only worth it when I challenged them.
And I know you've had other jobs like aside from this one. Do your bosses still reach out to you like, hey, Terrence, let's go hang out? How's the family doing?
No. Nope.
Yeah, the minute you left.
Dead silent. Yeah. I'm dead to them as soon as I left. Yeah.
And why you think that is?
I'm just a number. I'm just a dollar sign.
Take that same thing, you turn it around and you look at the people, right? So me and Kev work together at Console4. You know, me and Kevin, me and Adam, and we still keep up with each other, especially me and Kevin. So that just goes to show you that the value ain't in the company, the value is in the people. You can still stay connected to your people.
Yeah.
That you congregate in.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, it's just
man, go ahead and jump to the other company. I know, like, if I had a junior developer and he was like, yeah, this other company's offering me 90, and you know, we're only paying them 60. I'm like, hey man, go ahead and go, man. I ain't gonna hold you back. Like, you got a family to raise or whatever.
yeah. All right.
Does that give you a clear picture of what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get it. It's crystal clear. I've like I said, I've talked to Kevin about this multiple times. I talked to other people about this multiple times, and nobody from work, obviously, but like I've just sort of just like, you know, as I interview and as I go through the motions and stuff, it's like, all right, like, you know, if I do this, then like, one, am I ready to do this? And two, if I do this, you know, I just didn't want to put somebody in a bad situation. But at the end of the day, like you said, they'll be all right before me.
Yeah.
Hey, I said all that to say this. Man, they're gonna be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They gonna be all right, bro.
Yeah.
Like, they're not gonna go, you know what I'm saying? Like we tend to get, you know what I'm saying, in a different way than we really need to be, because hey, it's hard to come to grips with this, but they were okay before you,
Yeah.
and
Right.
they're gonna be okay after you.
Yeah.
You know, and that's not to minimize your value. It's just to be honest.
Just
like,
be real. Yeah, just be real.
Yeah.
Even the company that I'm at, I've single-handedly literally pushed this company forward on the mobile side, right?
Yeah.
Like I've literally single-handedly created apps. I've single-handedly led teams to build apps that the company is literally built on. Like if these apps didn't exist, then like they would be fucked. So if I leave today, if I decide, you know what, I'm gone.
Yeah.
They're not going to be destroyed as a company. Like at the end of the day, it's just code. And no matter how much I feel like, you know what, I did this, I did that. At the end of the day, somebody, it might not be within a month or 2 months, but somebody will come in. But this is the funny thing. 80% of the code that we run off of today was made or written by people that's no longer with the company.
Right.
And what do? We chug along. We figure out a way. Even if there's an issue, it takes literally days for somebody to go in there and try to dig around to figure out what's wrong. But they didn't write it.
Yeah.
Again, that's just the nature of the beast. You know what I mean? And so I just say that to say this. You know, don't get too caught up in the emotional side of the business because, yes, it's going to exist. You're going to build relationships with people. You're going to feel a part of a family, a part of a team, so forth and so on. But just look at it as what they look at it as. They're in it for themselves. And so you got to be in it for yourself. So on your journey as a software developer, you have to know what your goals are. And your goals have to be met, regardless of whether it's with this company or with some other company. Right. You have to continue to advance yourself and to continue to rise in your profession because companies are known like they're like ruthless when it comes to holding people back.
Yeah.
Because it's to their benefit. It's to their benefit to hold them back. And as soon as you get comfortable, they happy.
Yeah.
He comfortable now.
Yeah.
Shit, we happy. He ain't going nowhere.
And that's something that I've noticed. Like it's like one thing that was always said. It was like, okay, I want to learn React Native development. I want to learn React. I want to learn this. Why do you need to learn that? You won't use that for years. And this is a quote, right? I'm not just like paraphrasing here. It's like, it's gonna take forever for you to actually use that. You're not gonna use that in time, or it's not like you're not gonna use that here. And like, I would constantly get pushback, like constantly, like, okay, well, like I demoed an app that I made using what was it, Flutter or React Native? I forget which one, but then like he like cut my demo short and blah blah blah, and it's like I just noticed, like, when I look back, all the times that I tried to like innovate or learn something new was always stopped. And so but if I just stay in my lane and sit when he says sit, bark when he says speak, and not to put it like that, but it's just like, just stay in my lane and do what I'm told, or like or just perform and do my day-to-day tasks without trying to push the envelope, it would always get pushback. And like there would be times when he would entertain the idea of like, oh yeah, let's pick up React, or let's learn this, let's learn that, and it almost felt as if like it was just the horse and the carrot mentality, right? Like to always keep that new shiny toy in front of me to try and keep me like satisfied and content. And just one day, like I think like starting like it all happened like once I started working from home, where it was like, you know what, like this is what I'm doing day to day, like outside of coworkers and laughing and feeling like a family and all that mushy stuff. Like at the end of the day, like my job is just is a finite number of tasks, and like I wasn't happy, like and I'm still not necessarily like satisfied. So like I hear you what you're saying. Like I'm replaceable, and like if the bag is there, I should just go and get it, because I'm not gonna get it from here.
right?
Yeah.
And it's almost like a bad relationship, right? Like that it's not you don't even have to be like nothing wrong, but
Yeah.
I'm not satisfied. You know, you're a great person, but I'm just not happy. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not fulfilled in the role that I have in this particular union. And
Yeah.
so, like you were saying, they don't like it's kind of like hey, think about it like this. Let's say you with a chick, right?
Right.
And then when she get with you, you know what I'm saying, she content with, you know, what you got going on, blah blah blah. Now let's say you say, you know what, I wanna step my game up, man. You know what I'm saying? I wanna increase my swag, you know what I'm saying? I wanna start, you know what I'm saying, dressing a little different. I wanna, you know, my hair a little different, you know, I wanna don't smell good, you know, I wanna up my game.
Yeah.
And then they start giving, why you doing that? Why who you trying to look good? What you mean? Like
Right.
I want to increase my image. I want to feel better about myself. I want to advance. Oh no. You don't need to do that. Why? Not because it's wrong. It's because if you start doing that, then you become valuable to other people. You know what I'm saying? If you start learning React, now you're valuable to other people. If you start learning Flutter, now you're valuable to other people. No. We don't want you to do that. No, stop that. What you doing? Sit your ass down.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, nah, that's a high tell sign that you're doing something right. When people got something to say about what you're doing,
Yeah.
you're doing something right.
Right. All right. Well, yeah. The only other gripe that I have potentially is like jumping into a code base that I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. Like even today with this last interview or this most recent one, they had me go over some code base, and he was just trying to understand like how I would submit like what was it? We were talking about like code changes and stuff, and that I just lack experience in a lot of the tech that they're asking for. Like I've used it like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, but yeah, I feel like if I take that leap, then I'm gonna be in an environment that I have no idea what I'm doing, and they're gonna expect me to like perform like out the gate.
Yeah, it's kind of like, man, when I jump from job to job, like, you know, I was working Angular my whole career. When I went to AT&T, it was React. So that's kind of like the name of the game. You're always gonna have to learn something new, man. You're gonna have to struggle for a little bit, and that's part of the process, you know. Like just like you have to go read the code base and learn it. When you leave, your coworkers, they're gonna have to do the same thing. That's just kind of like part of manning up in the coding world. You know what I mean? Like you have to, if you're a coder that's worth your salt, you're gonna learn the technologies. You know, just like
Yeah.
how you know, you taught yourself programming. Why can't you teach yourself this new technology? It's gonna be confusing at first, but you know, you stick with it, it's gonna come to you.
Right.
Yeah, just don't discourage yourself from taking that leap. That's kind of like what me and Brian were talking about earlier. But it was in the context that we were talking about investments. Like we knew Amazon was going to be the next big thing, but
Yeah.
for whatever reason, we just kind of talked ourselves out of investing. Like, wow, what if it is? But if we would have invested, you know what I mean? How many could have been like millionaires?
Straight millionaire right now, boy. Good night. I beat myself up all the time.
Yeah.
Yikes.
So don't talk yourself out of success, man. You know what I mean? Even with this podcast, oh man, what if people don't like it? What
Yeah.
if this goes wrong? No, let's just do it, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. For sure.
But yeah, Brian, you've been interviewing, haven't you? Or you
I did one the other day, man. It was you know, it was cool. I feel like a fish out of water, man, just because it's been almost 3 years, man, since I done been in the game, you know, in that lane. But you know, I kind of, man, I'm gonna be honest, man, like I've gotten to that point in my career, man, and just in coding in general, man, where I've kind of I feel like I've accomplished what I wanted to accomplish in coding, man.
right.
Like, and so now I'm looking for, you know, I remember back in the day, man, I'm talking about coding was where it was at, man. I'm talking about I coded 8 hours at my job, and then I'd go code another 4 or 5 hours at home.
Right.
You know, that was just what I did, man, because I just had such a passion for it. My desire to learn and my desire to create was just so strong back then, man. But I feel like I've gotten to a point in my career where, you know, I've reached that point where I'm fulfilled now. And so now it's like, I'm not pushing myself to, you know, on coding anymore. You know what I'm saying? And so it's becoming more difficult for me to stay relevant, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so now when I did that interview, you know, I kind of felt weird, man. I ain't gonna lie. Like I was like, man, I don't feel like I'm at the top of my game no more, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I've gotten complacent at my current position, and I'm so valuable at my company.
Yeah.
That it's like staying where I'm at enough, you know what I'm saying, to be at the top of my game, but I'm really not, right? Because if I wanted to go somewhere else, what could I tell them that I've done over the past, you know, 2-3 years?
Right. It's almost
nothing.
like,
because we're still working on Angular 8.
Yeah.
And damn, like we, you know, we're not. Angular, you know, was like bleeding. It was still in RC, matter of fact.
Yeah.
You know, when I got to consult more. So, you know, I was on the bleeding edge of technology back then. RxJS, again, bleeding edge. So, you know, well, what was that I brought? And I'm mad I did.
Redux,
Redux, yeah.
NGRX.
Redux, yeah, NGRX, man.
That was a nightmare.
I'm mad. I dread to say I introduced that to Steve, man. But again, man, it's just like back then I was so motivated to learn new things.
Yeah.
You know, I built that Flutter app with Easy Speak, you know, and man, again, I don't know, man. I don't know where I'm gonna end up, but I just know that, like, I feel like I've reached my pinnacle in the coding world, man.
I think you're kind of like in that position, you know, like in football, like when the guy got the second contract, you know what I mean? Like right before the contract, he going crazy, like
yeah.
But after you get that contract, it's like, oh, I could take.
You know what I mean? Like I'm just happy winning a couple of games.
Yeah. Well, what do you think will remotivate you, like rekindle your fire, or do you think that will come more so from jumping into another industry?
It would have to be me. It would have to be me jumping into another industry or going to another company.
Okay.
Like being where I'm at is not going to do it. I can tell you that right now, because we're so legacy code bound, man. It would take us years to get out of this legacy hole. Like I would go to another company to reinvigorate myself, to revitalize my passion for coding again.
Like, man, do you like what would it take for another company to like grab you from this one?
Probably about 200.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that's the magic number, because I feel like that's the number that they wouldn't be willing to pay. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, that might be a little bit. That might be they might be though.
It might be. You know, if you know, if you're the big money, hey, you can't lose them.
Yeah.
You got to put the pressure on them sometimes, or else, you know, they'll keep you there. Give you the little, give you a few crumbs here and there, but.
I need to get back active on LinkedIn and see what these people talking about. They be all up in my DMs.
Yeah.
Hey, I feel like a bad bitch at the club, man.
Yeah.
Hey, they be all up in my DMs. But.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, man. That's you know, when you do what you're supposed to do, man. You have the opportunities there, man. And yeah, it's kind of like, you know, like I was in the same boat as Terrence. It's like, oh man, I don't want to leave these guys behind and all of that. But you know,
I remember that conversation we had.
Yeah. But you know they where they at now? They fine. You know what I mean? They had to step their game up. Like they had to learn what they had to learn. You know, we ain't like babysitters / coders. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So just like I step my game up and learn new stuff, they got to do the same thing. And a lot of them are at different companies too.
Right.
Like I bet you know what I'm saying. Like once you leave, that's going to open the opportunity for the guys behind you, one of them to step up and you know what I mean, kind of step into the role that you was doing.
Now, what they gonna end up having to do, they're gonna have to scramble because I'm the only guy right
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
Yeah. So that's why I feel like, part man, like I'm big shit, because I'm the only one. I've been waiting on them to replace my team for what, a year and a half now?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. They stole, the California team stole one of my team members. And then the other one, he went on to, advance his career. Like again, you know how you said, if they really care about you, if you have another opportunity, they gonna like, man, yeah, man, go for it.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
how
yeah.
I was. That's how I was with my guy, man.
Right.
He was great team member, man, great worker, great developer. When he said, man, yeah, I asked him, I said, well, I mean, what are you getting into? Like, what's pulling you away? He was like, man, I want to get into something new. Like they got some projects that's dealing with machine learning and so forth and so on. And I'm really interested in that. And I know damn well you ain't finna get into that here.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
man, go for what you know, man. You know what I'm saying? And I wish them the best. Again, number anytime you want to hit me up, feel free.
Yeah.
Like that's the kind of guy I am.
Right.
But I'm not the company though. I'm me being genuine.
Yeah. Man, I feel like we can't reward these companies for bad business practices, meaning like, one guy shouldn't know everything. But like, you know what I'm saying? If he leaves, the whole company blow up. That's a bad business structure. We can't reward them for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like this round of you know
Yeah.
I'm gonna press.
Yeah, yeah, man. We got financial goals, like you literally probably generated them millions and millions of dollars off of the applications you made. So why can't you get a chunk of that?
Yeah, I agree.
Like, you know what I'm saying? You only asking for like 20, 30,000 out of those millions. Come on, man. Like if I can
Yeah, like come on, man.
if I could pay somebody, you know what I mean? 20K.
Especially if you know that I'm supposed to have some team members that you would have to pay them 60 to 70K, at the junior level, which, so come on now. Like you can't give me even half of what you know what I'm saying, you would pay somebody else that you're supposed to have given me a year and a half ago.
Right.
And I'm holding all the weight.
Yeah. Like you doing all of you saving a lot of money because you're so productive, but
exactly.
You know what I mean? It's like, okay, yeah, where's my raise at? Get that money that you was gonna use to hire that developer. Give me at least like, maybe 40%.
Yeah. Yeah. That's valid, man.
What about you, Terrence? You got any insight on that? Any comments on that?
I actually got to step away. I got to pick up my sister.
Yeah. It's a good point to end.
Yeah, we've been on this for a minute, but I guess I'm gonna say like I get like companies are penny pinching and they want to just like they want to save money where they can, and like just be cautious of like how you save your money, because you might bring on poor quality by skimping out on paying somebody, right? Like for example, like you could not pay a senior dev, they could leave, and you only have a bunch of junior devs, right? How do you go about replacing that senior dev? You're gonna ask junior developers to interview a senior dev to lead them? Like,
hey, you know what's crazy? It's crazy that you say that, Terrence. But guess who interviewed me when I'm the lead, right? Guess who interviewed me? So at the company that I'm at, I got interviewed by 2 people. I mean, 3 people. I'm sorry, 3 people. I got interviewed by the lead of another project, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I got interviewed by 2 developers, like basically senior developers. Like I don't even know if they were seniors, to be honest. I don't know what the level they were at, but they were just 2 developers on the team. And so shortly after I started, one of those people that interviewed me actually went off to go to aviation.
Mm.
So that just goes to show you probably how deep in development he was. He went down a totally different path. I'm sure he wasn't a senior developer.
Right.
So I just say that to say this. A company is comprised of the resources collectively to accomplish a common goal. So whatever that particular composition of resources is, as long as the bottom line is being met and the actual products or whatever it is that company is producing is being produced, they really don't have no rhyme or reason of how they go about structuring those resources. How can you bring on a lead, that is being interviewed by his subordinates, and then even in addition to that, the people that you are having interview him aren't even solid team members. So it just goes to show you that the entry into a company is kind of vague. It's not really solid by any means of the word. Like all they're doing is trying to vet people to just be good enough to keep pushing things forward. Because I guarantee you, if I leave today, they're going to be in a very difficult scenario. But it's not to say that they won't rebound and that they won't make it work. They're going to have to figure some shit out. It's going to be tough. But they're going to figure it out because they've been in business for a while now. They know how to finagle. They know how to talk shit. They know how to, kind of wean things out. I've seen it firsthand, even with projects that I've worked on. Like a customer could be looking for something and I don't even know it, right? And then all of a sudden they'll just spring it up on me. Oh, we need this done. We promised the client that we were going to have this done, a few months ago, and now they're pressuring us for it. But what happened between then and now? Like, why was this not brought up to my attention? But now I'm met with the deadline, right? So how much do they really care about me? How much do they really care about their workforce?
Right.
Yeah, and if Brian leaves, it's gonna be a huge hit to the company. But their solution, they're gonna pay. They're gonna find someone. They're gonna pay. They're gonna offer like a lot of money, and somebody gonna come in and they'll have to swim. They'll have to struggle for a while, but there's some figure it out. You know what I mean? It's not like what we're doing is like rocket science or only one guy in the world can do it. You know what I mean? They're not going to be as efficient as Brian, but they might just end up hiring 2 or 3 people. Like, oh, we can't do that with one guy anymore. So
yeah, they might take what they was gonna pay me, and separate that or allot that to a few people, and get multiple people in. But again, I just say that to say this, man. When we're looking at this industry that we work in, it's fast paced. And it's ever evolving. There's no successful coding project that stays stagnant. There's constant updates. There's a lot of community involvement. So if you're at a company that you're working on the same thing, the same technology that you were working on a year, 2 years ago, you trust and believe that company is going to try to leave you stagnant. So I feel victim for myself.
Okay.
Yeah, man. I think that's a good note to end this one on. But,
thank you.
All right, man. I'll catch y'all later.
All right,
man.
Peace.